Hello, and welcome to HSN, Hell's Shopping Network. We have some fantastic deals on some great new products available today. Is the traditional armor of God too cumbersome and unfashionable for today's busy and complex world? Well, we have some amazing alternatives available which are better suited to what you need. Is the breastplate of righteousness too heavy? Is biblical righteousness too inflexible? Does it sometimes pinch you when you want freedom of movement? Now introducing the breastplate of self-righteousness. As you can see, the breastplate of self-righteousness is very light and flexible. It is highly padded to absorb the judgmental comments of anyone who might accuse you of fault of character or wrongdoing. You are a very, very good person, and your own sense of right and wrong is more than enough for you to get by. Does God's belt of truth no longer fit your unique frame? Try replacing it with the belt of your truth. The belt of your truth will always fit you. Simply put it on and speak your unique truth into the world. Man is the measure of all things. Be that man today. Next up, the sandals of peace may bring peace to the world that surpasses all understanding. But the Crocs of conflict avoidance allow you to avoid all unpleasantness all the time. What is more peaceful than simply being able to avoid any difficult, confrontational, or meaningful discussions? Simply put on the Crocs of conflict avoidance and slip away without ever having to engage. Bring yourself peace of mind by knowing you will never have to lift a finger or say a word. In fact, go further to ensure you will never have to stick your neck out by protecting yourself with the shield of tolerance. The shield of faith may be able to extinguish the flaming arrows of the evil one, but who wants flaming arrows shot at them anyway? Employ the shield of tolerance and make yourself completely safe from attack by agreeing with everyone around you, regardless of how incompatible their views. And are you feeling iffy about the future? Well, ditch the helmet of salvation. What good does the hope of salvation do you right now? Instead, don the new helmet of self-confidence. Protected by the helmet of self-confidence, you have no need to rely on supernatural promises. Rest easy knowing you are a smart, capable individual who is well equipped to thrive in the modern world. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. You have got the gusto and can-do attitude to provide for your every need and plan for every eventuality. Finally, to complete this styling ensemble, buckle on the sword of the spirit of the age, which I have on good authority. Is totally correct this time and will never change. Use it to look good fighting for those causes that most people agree upon anyway. Why let the Holy Spirit direct your fight when you can follow the herd? It will go a long way for your popularity to be sporting the same sword as everybody else.
Well, good evening. Oh my word, there's a lot of you. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. We are Tinted Glass. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Aaron Mead. The other armorer that came out was Deborah Mead. Our announcer there is Vanessa Mead. The better clad armor person was David Mead. And the guinea pig armor person was Joseph Mead. And we are Tinted Glass, and our name comes from 1 Corinthians 13, verse 12, which says that now we see through a glass dark, or in some translations, we see dimly reflected in a mirror. In other words, we don't see perfect clarity. We don't see God that way. We don't see each other that way. We are trying to do that, and one day we will. But in the meantime, us to laugh. That's what this is all about. I feel like before proceeding further, I need to tell you.
I'm ready, Barry.
All right. On the air in 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on WITK Radio, our show, The Way They Should Go. I'm your host, Barry Tone. Our program's name comes from Proverbs 22:6, which tells us to raise up a child in the way he should go. And we are devoted to finding ways to do it. We have a very special guest with us in the studio today. This is Dr. Aaron Mead, who is a very well-known national speaker and the author of the best-selling book, All Children Are Good. Dr. DeLove, thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you, Barry. I'm so thrilled to be here.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. But I have to confess that when we first looked into booking you, I did have a little bit of a concern. I've read your book, All Children Are Good, and as far as I can tell, the entire purpose of the book is that all children everywhere are essentially angelic.
That's right, Barry. Precious cherubs, every one of them.
Well, that's very sweet. It's a very nice idea, but I'm just wondering how you square that with the concept of original sin. We love our children dearly, but don't we see them struggling with that universal human condition even from the beginning?
Oh, well, Barry, I used to think that too. And then I found some truly amazing statistics. It turns out if you look at people in our society who commit truly horrible crimes like murder, robbery, arson, what have you, what you find is startling. Virtually none of those crimes are committed by people less than 5 years old.
Well, I'm sure you're right about that.
And once I stumbled onto that, Barry, I followed it up. I conducted hundreds of controlled experiments with children ages 2 to 4. And again, the results were astonishingly consistent. For example, given the choice between a stuffed teddy bear or a book on how to run a successful Ponzi scheme, the child chose the bear more than 75% of the time.
Okay, I'm not really sure that proves anything.
Oh, there's more. Even the children who chose the book were unable to recruit any of their peers to help run the scheme.
Well, I think we're going to have to circle back to the question of whether children are inherently good.
Okay.
Right now, what if we take some calls from the radio? Caller, you are on the air with How They Should Go.
Hello?
Yes, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I have a question for Dr. DeLove.
Yes, caller, I'm here.
Well, last night I told my 6-year-old daughter that it was time for her to go to bed, and she hit me over and over again with her sock.
Oh, yes, sir. That's a common reaction from a 6-year-old. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not really rebellion, as much as a harmless sort of playfulness.
Well, it wasn't harmless to me. She had put a horseshoe in the sock.
How creative!
Then she posted the video on YouTube.
That's wonderful! Your daughter is proud. She wants to tell the whole world that this is her daddy. That is a beautiful story. Thanks for sharing. Bye-bye now, babe. Barry. What's important is that they're relating father to daughter. What they have is very real.
I'm sure it's real enough. Why don't we take a hello caller, you're on here.
Hello? Is this Dr. Sharon DeLove?
Yes, caller, I'm here.
Oh, I can't believe I got through. It is such an honor to speak with you. I've read all your books, and I've always tried to use your techniques with my children.
Why, thank you.
Oh, thank you. You are a lifesaver. Hey, I have a quick question. My son is being very resistant to switching from baby food to solid food, and he's also resisting being potty trained.
Oh, fun times. Have you tried singing him the songs from my CD?
Oh, yes, I have. I think he likes them, especially Tinkle, Tinkle, Little Star.
That's a good one.
But he's just having a tough time making those transitions.
Well, how old is he?
He's 26.
26 months?
No, 26.
Well, I'm sure your son will turn that corner any day. You keep up the good work. Bye-bye now. Boop.
Dr. DeLove, wasn't that call in any way disturbing to you? How can you just blithely condone such an obvious case of arrested development?
Barry, these are not things that should be rushed. They're special bonding moments that should be treasured. Keep in mind, when that son is 50, his mother will only have the photographs to remind her of these special times.
Thank you for making me think of that.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Let's take another call. Hello caller, you're on the air with WIDK.
Hi, is this Dr. DeLove?
Yes, caller, I'm listening.
What's your question, caller?
I don't have a question. I just want to say that you, Dr. DeLove, are a fraud and a disgrace. You don't know anything about raising kids. Someone should put you away.
Justin, is that you? You scamp! Stop playing tricks now and go do your homework. If you do, Mommy will buy you a new car.
This isn't me. And you're no mommy of mine. Beep.
He hung up.
Yeah, he does love a little mischief now and then. But he is a fine young man.
Okay, I think we have time for just one more call. Hello caller, you're on the air.
Hey, it's me again with a 6-year-old daughter. I don't know how, but she's got a hold of a really small set of brass knuckles. I didn't even know they made them for kids. She's demanding money for lottery tickets. I'm scared.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Only one call per person. Bye-bye now, babe. See, Barry, I've really enjoyed being on your show today, but I think I'm going to scamper along now. I just need to go peek in on Justin because he gets frustrated sometimes. And the police can be so unsympathetic. Oh, bye-bye now. Oh, bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. DeLove has left the studio. The book is called All Children Are Good, and it can be found in the fiction section of any local bookstore. Join us next week when our guest will be Dr. No Authority, the author of Discipline Schmiscipline. Good afternoon and good luck. Beep.
Yeah, what's this all about?
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, it looks like for both of you, mainly your acting experience has been in used car lot versions. Wonderful. All right, well, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Listen, our studio is considering making a movie about the David and Goliath story in the Bible. We're trying to woo back the conservative Christians. But the problem is that, of course, the story's been done over and over and over again, right? So we got a group of writers. We had them each try to take a different take on it, a different genre on how it might come across. We're just going to go through a scene or two from each one today and see if anything seems to work. You got it?
Wait, so it's the same story, but just a bunch of different genres?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Right here, we got some sound effects people to try to get us in the swing of things. We got Trixie here helping with props. Let's try this one first, and we're just gonna see how it goes. Sound folks, we are starting with version 1 and action.
Am I some kind of doggy that you come at me with your cattle pride, you varmint? I'll be fixing your innards for the birds and the critters.
Now you listen up, Pilgrim. You may have got yourself some fancy irons there, but I'm the fastest slinger around these parts. Not to mention, I got a lot of help from Providence.
Okay, cut. I'm sorry, this just feels wrong.
Should I be more bow-legged?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean the whole thing. Here, give me those. Give me those. Here. All right. That did not work. Let's try these. Here you go. Here you go. Sound people, we are now trying version 2 and action.
What vision breaks upon my wandering sight? 'Tis but a lad, a ruddy brazen youth. How durst thou, boy, approach me with thy stick? Thy craven king is mad in solemn truth. But since thou dare confront me as you do, I do now curse thee by my heathen gods, by cruel Baal in temple dark, and Dagon who doth prosper.
Cut. At this rate, the movie's going to be 4 hours long.
But I never even got to say my lines.
Forget it, kid. This one's a bust.
No. There was some really good stuff in there about slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Yeah, that's great. Sorry, it's not going to happen. All right, moving on. Hopefully third time's a charm. We're going to try number 3. Thank you, Trixie. Sound people, we're on version number 3. Let's give it a shot. And action.
Of all the battles and all the valleys in all the world, he walks into mine. A baby-faced youngster, still wet behind the ears. He'd brought a sling to a sword fight. You had to feel a little sorry for him, but I was going to plug him all the same. You don't have the luxury of being sentimental in this job.
He was a big, ugly lug with a small, ugly brain. But I wasn't worried. Lions, bears, now this stooge. It's all in a day's work in the mean streets of Israel. The giant was going down for a big dirt nap. I had God in my corner. Stone his name.
All right, Sonny. You're going to get it, see? You're in over your head, see? I'm going to feed you to the beasts and the Maltese falcon, see?
You're swinging at you, kid.
Okay, cut. No. Sorry, no. That's not That is not it. Whatever we're looking for, that is not it. All right, one more shot. Thank you, Trixie. All right, sound folks, this is version number 4 and last. Ready, and action. Okay, cut. No, not cut. All right, no. You know what? I don't even want to know what the dialogue was going to be. You know what? This is not the thing. I'm sorry. Look, this whole project was just a disaster. I'm sorry, guys. You can pick up your checks at the desk. It just did not work out.
Can we try something?
Like what?
Well, besides used car commercials, we both have a history in improv.
Oh, great.
And for the record, I also did commercials for laundry detergent.
Okay, but that's not the point. Just hear us out, all right? FX people, could you maybe...
Okay, well, I guess I'm here already.
Dave, I am your father.
No, that's impossible.
Search your feelings, David. You know it to be true.
No, like, that's literally impossible, because I'm David, son of Jesse, son of Obed, son of Boaz. I mean, it's...
Enough!
Oh,
Come to the dark side, or I will strike you down.
setting swing to stun. All right, Goliath. You ready for your head to boldly go where it's never gone before?
Oh,
Cut. It's brilliant. I smell an Oscar. Come on. We're going to work this out. The only question is, do we get George Lucas on this thing or maybe Michael Bay? Before we go any further, I want to give a thank you to some people who are doing a lot to help us out. First, to Ethan Pawelski back there, who's doing the sound. Thank you. He's putting a lot of time with us. Really appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. Also, we want to give a big thank you to Jay Carrick and Shiloh Pawelski, who are right now doing nursery. Hopefully some people are taking advantage of now. Particularly, I don't want to overlook them because nursery care is a formidable thing. Are you working in nursery care? Hampers rage, rough housing and grind. If so, watch out for one who plays there, for he is a toddler of mine. If he claims to own everything, hampers rage, rough housing and grind, and takes your thumb for his teething ring. He's for sure a toddler of mine.
If he screams for his Cheerio, hampers rage, roughhousing and grind, and shoves them all way up in his nose. He's for sure a toddler of mine. If he punches the minister's kid, hampers rage, roughhousing and grind, and dislocates her bicuspid. He might be a toddler of mine. And spend an hour of heartache and hurt. Hampers rage, roughhousing and grind, then run away and dry clean your shirt. It met with a toddler of mine. Are you working in nursery care? Hampers rage, roughhousing and grind. If you're lucky, I'll return there to retrieve that toddler of
A show which is absolutely not based on any other show ever. I'm your host, Archaeology. Here, we will look at relics from Bible times and places and assess them to determine their authenticity and worth. Tonight, we're in Topeka, Kansas. Let's see what people have brought in.
I got it at an estate sale in New Jersey about 3 years ago. Somehow I could just tell it was a valuable piece of history.
Do you remember at the time how much you paid for it?
Yes, I do, because I didn't have enough. It was $400 and I only had $350. Fortunately, they agreed to take a gift card to Chuck E. Cheese to make up the difference.
Now that was fortunate. Now, at the time, did you have any idea what it was that you might be getting?
Yeah, I thought maybe it was a signet ring from Pontius Pilate or someone about that time. Or maybe it was an ornamental ring worn by the Pharaoh's daughter, the one who found Moses in the basket.
Well, that's quite a variance you've described there. You're talking about two people that lived hundreds of miles and more than 1,000 years apart.
I'm not picky.
Well, you notice, of course, the bright red gem in the center.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was a ruby or like a red emerald.
Actually, it's a somewhat more common material known as silicon dioxide.
Wow, silicon dioxide.
Referred to more commonly as glass.
Wow, glass.
Now, if I pick up the artifact...
Are you sure you won't tarnish it?
that's not going to turn out to be an issue. You'll notice that there is a mechanism in the ring. I can rotate the gem around.
Oh, those are initials. MM. Maybe Marcus, Magnus, or something?
Actually, you're looking at it upside down. The initials are WW. This is the Wonder Woman logo.
You're kidding me.
Sadly, no.
I had no idea the ancients believed in Wonder Woman.
You're missing the point. This is from a Happy Meal.
So, you're saying the ancients had fast food?
Oh boy, you're not getting this. Can we please cut to somebody else? I'm going to go take my break.
Goodness.
Right, now, this rock has been in our family for as long as our records go back. Which is actually just back to my pappy, because none of us is much on keeping records. But he told me that this here is none other than the rock David flung at Goliath.
I see. And what was it that made your father think that this might be that particular projectile?
Nah, no, he never told me it was no projectile. No, he just said it was a rock David done flung at Goliath's head.
All right. Well, was there any sort of paperwork with it, a certificate of authenticity, any documentation of any kind?
Well, now, it seems like at one time there might have been a note taped to it, but it must have gotten lost when we moved from the Badlands to the swamp.
All right. Well, there are a couple of indications here. First, it strikes me that this would be a rather large rock to be used in a primitive sling. Yes, I would say that weighs in the neighborhood of 30 pounds.
Yep. That David was a rip-roarer, wasn't he?
Well, maybe, and yet that's not all. The geologic composition of Israel is largely sandstone, as you might be aware, or then again you might not, which is consistent with a region that is largely desert. However, this item contains material that is not naturally found in Israel. In fact, it's not naturally found anywhere. This is actually cement,
right.
Carved and buffed and colored to look like rock.
Right.
Also,
geologic.
Yeah. All right. Yes, and also if you see here in this crevice, you can also see that there's a. If you could just sit back a little bit, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. That there is a piece of used chewing gum actually embedded in the artifact. Probably watermelon bubblicious. I really wouldn't have done that, sir. So these things make me suspect that it is not actually a rock from ancient Israel.
Huh.
Now, did any of your family ever turn the rock over and look on the other side?
My cousin dropped it on his foot once, but no, not that I can recollect.
Well, let's see.
Let me help you with that.
Thank you. All right. Now, this is also rather suggestive. Here we have what might at first glance appear to be cracks, but in fact are deliberate. We see here an inscription. Here we have a drawing of a cartoon toad, and underneath it an inscription in English which says, "Gardening makes me hoppy." Note that the word is hoppy, not happy. This is an apparent play on words. This was obviously intended to be a whimsical piece. In short, I would opine that this is less likely to be a stone from the time and place of King Saul, and more likely to be a decorative item from the outdoor department of Home Depot circa, say, 1995.
Well, dadgum.
Still, thank you for bringing it in.
Twerk no trouble. I understand that you have an interesting document there.
Oh, yes, I do. It looks like an old scroll, but I've been afraid to open it because it looks so delicate.
That was probably a rather wise precaution. Let me take a look. Ah, yes, this is remarkably ancient. Wow, you have a real find here. This could easily be worth several $100,000.
Oh, I had no idea.
It's difficult to tell, but it may be a Roman governing document, possibly even describing the trial and sentence of the Apostle Paul. There's an inscription at the bottom here. I can't quite make out what it...
You said it was valuable.
Then again, it was probably nothing. I didn't know
Yes, well, you never know what's going to happen on Antioch Roadshow. See you next week.
I like to do something just by myself because it gets me out of set changes. In chapter 5 of the book of Genesis, we read about a man named Methuselah. Methuselah has the longest recorded lifespan of anyone who ever lived. He lives to be 969 years old. He was that close to living for a millennium. And I got to thinking about that, and I thought, how much wisdom must somebody accumulate over that long of a lifespan, seeing multiple generations and all the hardships of life and all the rest of it? If we could somehow have talked to or with Methuselah during the last year of his life, what kinds of things might he have told us? And so I wrote a song about it, and I set it to Bach's Prelude in C major, just because I think it's worth thinking about. So here is the words in the last year of Methuselah, from Methuselah's own mouth. You kids get off my lawn. Nurse? Nurse? I want pudding. I mean it, you punk kids. Don't make me get up and come over there. You know what? This did not turn out to be nearly as inspirational as I thought it was going to be. So why don't we just move on to whatever's next?
And I'm Mr. Cheery.
And we've stepped out of the house to teach you a special lesson about marriage.
That's right, kids. Marriage is a wonderful thing. A special relationship God made between a mommy and a daddy. What makes it so special, Mrs. Cheery?
Well, Mr. Cheery, what makes it so special is that the husband and wife have so much love and respect for each other. They operate almost like one person.
That's right, Mrs. Cheery. They do.
But what does it mean, Mr. Cheery, to respect each other?
I'm so glad you asked, Mrs. Cheery. Respect means that each person in the marriage thinks about the other person's needs and wants instead of just her own.
Or his own.
Right. So, for example, if Mrs. Cheery works hard getting the Cheery children around for school or church, Mr. Cheery should remember to thank her and help her out.
That's right, Mr. Cheery.
Or if Mr. Cheery has been shoveling snow for an hour and a half and comes into the house really tired, Mrs. Cheery shouldn't overreact if he tracks some snow into the house with his boots.
Yes, that's true, boys and girls. Of course, part of Mr. Cheery's respect for Mrs. Cheery would be remembering not to track snow into the house with his boots.
Mrs. Cheery brings up a fair point, kids. You always have to consider the other person's feelings. For instance, in our example, one might imagine that maybe the reason Mr. Cheery finds it hard to avoid tracking snow into the house is that Mrs. Cheery has the entire shoe caddy by the garage door filled with 28 pairs of her shoes.
Anyway, children, the point is that respect means thinking about the other person. It also means that when a husband and wife argue, they should be sure to only say kind things. And they should especially be sure not to say things that are just ridiculous exaggerations.
Boy, Mrs. Cheery, ridiculous and exaggerations are two pretty big words. We'd better break that down. A good example of a ridiculous exaggeration, kids, is if one of the people in the marriage were to say to the other something like, "I've been asking you to fix these gutters for 10 years. When really, they've only lived there for 6.
But in that example, boys and girls, I'm sure you can see that the person who said that might feel like it had been 10 years. If every day she had to look at a house that looked like it was falling apart from the outside.
What Mrs. Cheery means, kids, is that the house might look like that compared to the house of the neighbors across the street who might have, let's say, a state-of-the-art seamless gutter system with leaf guards and heated wires for melting snow that the husband in our hypothetical could never afford.
That's why you always need to look at all sides to everything and be fair. There might be something else going on that Mr. Cheery didn't think of when he gave you that example. Maybe the couple that we're imagining would have the money for a new gutter system and lots of other things too if the husband didn't blow it all on golf clubs and golf membership fees and maybe, I don't know, a complete historically accurate set of Roman armor.
But as you get older, kids, you'll realize why someone might do that. Maybe the reason the husband does that is he has to get out of the house just to keep his sanity. Maybe his wife's mother comes around all the time. Maybe his wife's mother isn't always the easiest person to be around. Maybe his wife's mother is the Wicked Witch of the West.
Or, boys and girls, it's just possible that the husband in our little imaginary scenario has a real maturity issue. Maybe he's so attached to his own mother that he's trapped in his infantile Freudian regression and can't relate in a healthy manner with the feminine gender as a whole.
You know what I think, kids? I think that our imaginary wife took too many fluff psychology classes in college. Maybe she should have taken a cooking class. What do you think?
You want to know what I think, Mr. Cherry? I think you're the most chauvinistic, ignorant... Oh, gee, well...
You know, kids, the husband and wife in our imaginary scenario really need to work on what they were saying about love and respecting one another.
That's right, Mr. Cheery. They do.
Well, I know that if the real husband had said anything like that to his real wife, he'd be really sorry.
And so would the wife.
Well, I hope we showed you some things not to do. I better be going now.
Well, boys and girls, thanks for listening to us. And I hope whenever you grow up and get married, you'll remember to show love and respect to your spouse. Sometimes, even happily married couples forget how blessed they really are and need to be reminded of that. Well, I'll be going along now. Maybe I'll make Mr. Cheery a pie. Ah, I don't believe it. He's asleep, and he's got his shoes up on the couch. Daniel!
Hey, Job. How's the depression coming along?
Oh, Elihu, my life is in shambles. My family killed by my falling house. Raiders took all my cattle. My friends blame me for my problems. I'm in such misery.
Wine.
What did you say?
Maybe I could get you some wine, Job, to help you feel better.
No, thank you. But you're a good friend, Elihu. You're much better than those other three, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. They only make me feel guilty.
Cheer up, Job. Your friends mean well. It could always get worse.
How? My life is a wreck. My wife urges me to give up. My friends are against me and blame me for my problems. How could it possibly be worse?
Well,
Hey, Joe. One second.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Kim Kardashian.
Are you Joe?
he's Job.
Oh, hi, Job. I'm Kim Kardashian. You've probably seen my show.
You're what?
Oh, my reality TV show? Yeah, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
No.
Oh, well, that's okay. I'm here to teach you how to slay the good life.
The good life?
Yeah, Job, the good life. See, you may not realize it, but you actually have the makings for a great reality TV show right here.
What? We're in the middle of a barren field.
Yeah. It's got that whole minimalism thing going on.
I'm gonna get out of here.
No, Elihu, please don't leave me with this.
Smile. Okay, Joe. Let's talk about branding. So, my brand is rich and hot, with a little bit of, supermodel mixed in, yeah? And your brand is dirty and sad. But that's okay. We can make that work. I've heard ashes are really good for your skin. So we could do like Joe brand skincare line. Yeah? Plus, you've been starving, and so you're really thin. Your waist is like snatched. And I am so jealous, by the way. Maybe we could do like Joe brand diet pills. It could really be anything. You could make sackcloth hot for fall.
Well, will somebody please help me?
Look, Joe, don't worry. If there's one thing I know, it's that to be successful, you don't need to have any talent at all.
Did someone ask for help?
Ew. Who are you?
For you.
I'm Dr. Phil. Are you Job?
Maybe.
Well, Job, I'm here to offer you some simple homespun advice that'll change your entire life. See, you can change you. And you need to sit and think about how to do that, because at the end of the day, when it's just you, you're with you, and it's you.
Are you speaking in tongues?
Oh, that reminds me. I have a stylist appointment for hair extensions. Do you want me to put you in touch? Because... No? Okay, well, bye, Joe. Bye.
Now, Job, let's see if we can do something to remove that cycle of shame and negativity in your life.
Shame and negativity? What are you gonna do? Pin a smiley face to my sackcloth?
Well, what if I was? Have you got something against smiley faces, Job?
Will you please leave me alone?
All right, I can see you're not ready to be helped. Only you can change you. I'll be back when you're ready to own your feelings.
Oh.
Oh, are you Job?
Never heard of him.
Well, I was referred to this address.
Address? What address? 101 Sackcloth Drive, Despair City? And who are you anyway? Let me guess. Some celebrity or talk show host or self-help guru?
No, I'm nobody famous.
Well, thank you. That's a relief. Just an honest, everyday person who cares.
You're absolutely right, Job. I'm an attorney. And the way I see it, you have great cause for action against the raiders who took your livestock and the construction workers who built the house that collapsed. Not to mention your 3 friends for infliction of pain and suffering. You know, I have a colleague in the ACLU who thinks we might be able to sue God himself.
Get out, get out, get out.
You know, here, take my card. You have endured great personal injury, and you are entitled to damages.
Oh, who's that? Oh, Leo. Thank goodness it's you.
Okay, you look a little shaken up. Come on, let's get you some soup or something.
You were right, Elihu. It could be worse. Much, much worse.
Hey, you there. Yes, you. It looks like you're on your way to a church small group meeting. Wait a minute, little fella. Do you really want to show up like that? I don't think you're going to make much of an impression. I mean, look at you.
And is that your Bible? Oh dear, you're lucky we're here to help. Check that box on the table. Sure, open it up. That's right, it's our new piety pack. Let's see if there's something in there to make you look more respectable. Now that's a Bible. And look at that. It's pre-marked with evidence of serious scriptural study. Peek inside. You can see that it's loaded with impressive, scholarly bullet points for every passage, Greek roots, quotes from ancient commentators, quick applications, you name it. It's the Bible that says, I'm really deep, and yet oh so humble. Hey there! Not so fast. We're just getting started. What about your dish to pass? Did you forget it's your group's potluck week? Oh no, you're gonna look like a mooch. Or you're gonna swing by the store in a panic and wind up with a bag of oyster crackers. But wait, it's the piety pack to the rescue. Let's see what we've got. Wow, 1 dozen seasoned and buttered lobster tails. You'll be the winner at the dinner. Don't ask how we keep them fresh. It's a trade secret. Whoops, slow down there. Now, how are you set for prayer requests? You know they're going to go around the circle and ask for them. Do you have something right for the occasion? Or are you going to choke and say something about world peace? Well, not to worry, check the piety pack. That's not just a prayer journal. Have a look in the back. Yes, it's a compiled list of ready-to-go prayer requests. Choose from distant fictional family members, complete with backstories. Ongoing geopolitical crises, and more. Oh, I see you've selected Great Aunt Gertrude. An excellent choice. We've given poor Great Aunt Gertrude a battery of medical issues. Ooh, a double hip fracture. Whoa, Tex! Aren't you forgetting something? Sure, you've got an arsenal of Bible crib notes, a delicious entree, and a touching prayer request. But are you ready to present with a suitably somber attitude when the moment gets serious? To put it more simply, can you work up some emotion on cue? Well, once again, the Piety Pack is here to help. Check it out. Just slip on our patented tear trigger and put it in your breast pocket. You'll never have to worry about zoning out or laughing inappropriately. You'll have the respect of all.
Hey, Charlene, what are you doing in the sound booth?
Nothing.
You're supposed to be emptying the waste baskets in the executive offices. Why are you in here? And who's that guy?
Oh man, I was just having some fun.
Well, he doesn't look like he's having fun. Are you running that stupid Piety Pack joke again?
I'm bored. I'm a broadcaster trapped in the body of a janitor.
Well, cry me a river. Get back to work.
Oh man.
Sir, look, I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry about all of that. Listen, forget everything that just happened. I know. Listen, just go to your church group meeting exactly as you are. Yeah, well, except for the rat trap on your hand. That's right, yes. I mean, go simply and honestly with whatever you know about the Bible passage you're discussing, with whatever you can or can't bring, and with the prayers that are actually on your heart. Neither God nor anyone else needs to have you try to impress them. They want to meet you right where you are. And you, Charlene, go out there and clean up that stuff.
Oh man.
Well, it's a little known fact that before God chose Moses to write the book of Genesis, he considered other authors.
That snake I see. That snake I see. I do not like that snake I see.
Would you like to try this tree?
I would not like to try this tree. Go away, snake. Leave me be.
Would you like to eat this fruit? Don't you think it's kind of cute?
I would not, could not eat that fruit. For God says no. Go on now, scoot.
Would you eat it with your mate? Would you eat it on a plate?
I would not, could not with my mate. I would not, could not on a plate. I would not, and I'll tell you why. For God says if we do, we die. I will not eat forbidden fruit. I will not eat, you wicked brute.
You will not surely die. Your God has told you a lie. He knows that if you try this tree, that you will be as wise as he, sophisticated and astute. Now, won't you eat this fruit?
Snake, if it will do that for me, I will try it, and you will see.
Eve, was that the snake? He should be far away. Tell that snake in the grass you do not want to play. He should not be here. He should not be about. He should not be here when our father is out.
Don't be so hard on the snake, my sweet honey. He knows how to have lots of fun that is funny. He gave me this fruit, which will make us both wise. Here, have a quick bite. It will open your eyes.
Something about this seems strangely amiss. I seem to remember God talks about this. It could be the snake tempted Eve just to bribe her, but surely it can't hurt to get some more fiber. Eve, what's happening? I'm newly aware of a feeling that we are entirely bare.
That fruit was a thing we should never have tried. Only one thing to do now. Let's hide. We may have to spend all our lives incognito. Quick, gather some fig leaves. I'll make you a Speedo.
Oh, Adam, oh, Eve, tell me, why have you hid? Could it be something wrong that the two of you did?
It's this woman, oh Lord, that you put here with me. She gave me some fruit from the off-limits tree.
Oh, it's not all my fault, God. I fell for a fake from a smooth-talking, fork-tongued, insidious snake.
Enough. Each of you three a curse will now land on. The snake started this. He has no leg to stand on. For causing you two to dishonor my trust, he will finish his story by biting the dust. But that doesn't mean that you get off scot-free. I told you distinctly, don't eat from that tree. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. You haven't been faithful 100%. So Eve, you will find bearing children a pain. You'll learn this quite soon when you start to raise Cain. And Adam, you'll suffer while meeting your needs, working soil laced with thistles, with thorns, and with weeds, until you return to the dust of the ground. For sin makes you mortal, to earth you are bound. And for disobeying and eating that fruit, I'm closing up Eden, you're getting the boot. But I won't forsake you or leave you this way. No, you and your offspring must wait for the day when I send a hero to finish the poem, to pay with his life, and to bring you back home.
very much. It was hilarious. We'll look forward to doing it again next Saturday night.
All new material.
Right, yeah. Well, we'll have a lot of time to thank them and to fellowship together. We're going to be having ice cream downstairs, I believe it is. So we will say a word of prayer, and then we will head downstairs together. Heavenly Father, we thank you that you did send that hero, and that our laughter can be free and easy, because we know that you have come to do what needed to be done to bring us back to yourself. We thank you for our Lord Jesus and for the perfect fellowship that we have again with you, even though we are far from you. We thank you for this night, that we can laugh together and enjoy each other's company. And we pray that you would bless the remainder of our evening and the fellowship that we have. In Christ's name.